There is one sex problem in this one of them.
No, I didn't go for, I was not in a holiday. I was crossed. I was hit. I was aggressive. If he's riding on the spot and then the decision, the final decision, that here, she must die. She can see it. She died and she can see it. And she cannot chant. Nothing will help her.
Moses Sidole was born on November 17, 1964, in Valeros, Gauteng. He is also known as the ABC Killer. Moses Sidole earned the nickname ABC Killer because his crimes were associated with three South African cities: Atteridgeville, Boksburg, and Cleveland. When he was just 5 years old, his father died, and his mother, unable to support the children, abandoned them at a local police station. Following this, he spent the next 3 years in an orphanage based in KwaZulu-Natal. As per his statement, they were mistreated in the orphanage, and after 3 years in, he ran away seeking refuge in his eldest brother's home before moving to work in Joburg's gold mines. Where did Moses Sidole work? Moses Sidole managed a shell organization, a youth against human abuse, and was dedicated to eradication of child abuse. He used this opportunity to entice unsuspecting victims, where they would be assaulted and meet their death in broad daylight, all in the hopes of getting a job. September 1987. This was his first recorded incident of involving a 29-year-old Patricia Khumalo. 3 other known victims came forward, including Bunyeswa Doris Swakimisa, who was attacked in February 1989. She made a police report at the time that resulted in Sidole's arrest and trial. In 1989, he was jailed in Boksburg prison for 6 years for the rape of Swakimisa. Sidole maintained his innocence throughout the trial and was released early in 1993 for good behavior. You would have thought that Moses Sidole had learned his lesson, but what lesson did he learn? The lesson that Moses Sidole learned: victims left alive can produce consequences. So in January 1995 to April 1995, in Atteridgeville, west of Pretoria, 4 bodies of young black women who had been strangled were discovered. Newspapers became aware of similarities between the killings of each victim, and the police was forced to admit that there might be a serial killer on the loose. Then there was another discovery of the body of one of the victims' 2-year-old son, and this sparked additional media attention. One would have thought that the increased media coverage would have made Moses Sidole reevaluate his actions. Over the next few months in Pretoria, several more bodies, all sharing the same gruesome pattern, were discovered. July 17, 1995, Moses Sidole is seen by a witness displaying suspicious behavior while accompanied by a young woman. The witness then finds the lady dead. Unfortunately, the witness had been too far away to identify the killer. Moses Sidole gets away this time. As more victims are identified using the timeline of their death rather than the discovery of their bodies became evident, clear evidence emerged that the killer was refining his murder techniques to inflict maximum pain, likely enhancing his gratification. Additionally, his method of approach became apparent in many cases. The victims had arranged to meet someone who had offered them employment. September 16, 1995. In Van Dyke Mine near Buxbach, a body is retrieved. Within the next 48 hours of intense investigation, mass graves are discovered. Forensic experts recovered 10 bodies in various stages of decomposition. Investigators are convinced that the Buxbach's body were linked to the victim in Attridgeville. Media attention becomes even more intense through the recovery operation, and even President Nelson Mandela visits the scenes of the grisly discoveries. Following the discovery of the mass graves, local authorities seek external help from a retired FBI profiler, Robert Ressler, who arrived on September 23, 1995. At the gravesite, one victim, Amelia Rapodile, had last been seen before an appointment with a man named Moses Sidole on September 7. Investigators find out something that said she had gotten the position she had applied for. And when a second victim showed a similar connection to Sidole, they were more convinced that they had found a suitable suspect. But where is Moses Sidole at this time? Moses Sidole was nowhere to be found by the police. However, he still continued with his killing spree, unperturbed by the manhunt and the media attention. The taunting. October 3rd, 1995. Agnes Mbuli lifeless body is discovered near Benoni. And on the same day, a man calls a local newspaper claiming he has information not known to the public about the whole incident.
1995. The phone rang in the newsroom of the Johannesburg Star. Reporter Tamsin de Beer took the call.
I answered the phone and I heard the words, "I'm the man that everyone is looking for."
The person on the other end of the line introduced himself as Joseph and claimed to be responsible for the murders.
It was like alarm bells ringing in my head, like, get your typing fingers going, get your wits about you.
De Beer quickly began to transcribe the call. Over the next days, she and the killer would have 3 lengthy conversations.
He would call from a phone booth, and there was a degree of trust that we were building up. He was a very well-spoken, charming person on the telephone. I mean, he had an accent, so English wasn't his first language. So I imagine in his first language he was quite charming.
He told De Beer he was killing out of revenge for being wrongly convicted of rape. He claimed the murders were committed to draw attention to the injustice he had suffered.
He didn't want to be caught by the police. That was in fact his motive for calling. He wanted to outsmart them.
De Beer thought it might be a hoax, but the caller gave vivid descriptions of the killings. As the calls continued, Sithole confided more and more to 26-year-old De Beer.
He described how some women would fight, other women would just give up. It was of some interest to him, I think, how certain women would respond and others would fight. I remember him saying that some women were as strong as men, and he really struggled with them.
De Beer contacted the police and...
A manhunt ensues and the public is on high alert. Sithole then attempts to seek help from family members, but undercover police intercept him. He was, however, unwilling to go quietly, and a police officer shot him in the leg and stomach. Sithole is hospitalized and undergoing surgery. He is transferred to a secure military hospital in Pretoria, where he admitted to numerous killings in interviews with detectives. October 23, 1995. Moses Sithole is charged with 29 murders in the Magistrates Court in Brakpan. October 21st, 1996. Mounting evidence, see the total charges against him increased to 38 counts of murder, 40 counts of and 6 counts of robbery. He pleads not guilty to all charges. December 13, 1996. The prosecution introduced a video that had been shot during Sithole's initial incarceration. in which Sidole admits to 29 murders.
If he's right on the spot, and then the decision, the final decision, that here she must die. She can see it. She died, and she can see it. And she cannot chance. Nothing will help her.
Strangle who beat her?
No, I didn't beat anybody.
Just strangle?
Yeah.
How long does it take for somebody to die if you strangle them?
Few minutes.
Is it?
Yeah, plus 5 minutes is too much.
Sithole described his intense anger toward women.
The admissibility of this tape recorded illegally in a jail cell is ruled to be illegal because it was recorded in a jail cell. This causes the trial to be delayed until January 29, 1997. Do you think the tape should have been used in court? July 29, 1997. Judge David Lewis rules that the evidence of the tape is legal. December 4, 1997. Moses Sithole is found guilty on all charges, and in view of the gruesome nature of his crime, the judge would have had no hesitation in pronouncing a death sentence on Sithole. However, since the death penalty in South Africa had been declared unconstitutional in 1995, Sithole was sentenced to 2,410 years in prison with no possibility of parole for at least 930 years. Sithole was incarcerated in the maximum security section of Pretoria Central Prison.
The quiet of the morning,
The world is still asleep.
we remember all the faces.
We couldn't
They
keep.
were mothers, they were daughters,
They were loved, they were friends.
taken from this world too
Their
soon.
stories never end.
We sing for the echoes of the lost, for every soul who paid the cost. In our hearts they'll always stay, guiding us through every day. They were laughter in the sunshine,
The whispers in the wind.
every memory a treasure.
Every life a precious gem.
We hold them close within
The
us,
stories that we tell.
and in our hearts they linger on.
Every tolling bell.
We sing for the echoes of the lost, for every soul who paid the cost. In our hearts they'll always stay, guiding us through every day. We light a candle in the dark for every life, for every spark, a flame that burns so bright and true, a beacon for me, a beacon for you.
Secrets and stores.
We sing for the echoes of the lost, for every soul who paid the cost. In our hearts they'll always stay, guiding us through every day.